My name's Megan Fuller.
I'm John Fuller.
And this is our story. It was about mid-September of 2018. I was 20 weeks pregnant with our little girl, and we went to our anatomy scan to make sure everything was okay with the baby. And, we were watching her move, and she was real active and everything. And when we got done, the doctor came in and, they said that her bones were short. They were bowed in her legs and her arms, and that her feet were turned in, as in like club feet. When we were told that, I just felt like, why? Why us? A lot of fear came in, a lot of anger, and just couldn't believe it, After we processed it a little bit, and it was still really, really hard for me and him. That whole week, like the devil had a hold of me, and it was just like, this is not gonna be good and everything, and just so much anger was in my heart. And then that Sunday at church, got prayed for and just cried a lot, and was just reminded that God was telling us that I have this baby. I have created her perfectly, and do not worry. She's perfect and she will be just fine. And so ever since that happened, I had this, my faith was just as strong as ever. She'll be fine, not gonna worry about this anymore.
Strongly felt that if she worried, that could negatively affect the baby. And that's what I prayed for, was ease her worry, because worrying's gonna do no good. That's the devil talking in my mind. That's what I'm thinking. You're thinking negative thoughts all the time. I felt so thankful that she took that information that wasn't the best in the world that we wanted to hear, and it didn't matter. The Lord took care of it.
I had to go see a high-risk doctor, and we saw a different doctor every month. All the MFM doctors were just like, I think she has this certain dwarfism, and I'm just like, no. God says no, she is perfect, she's gonna be just fine. And they still didn't know what she had, and they wouldn't until she was born. And so every month I'm just like, I'm fine, she's fine. There's nothing to worry about. The prayer team would always pray Psalm 91 over her, basically saying that, do not worry. I always have you. It's coming from God and everything. And so we prayed that over her a lot, and it just really helped with processing everything and having that founding faith that she is going to be okay, and that he has her and there's nothing to worry about. The day of her birth, I was getting induced 3 weeks early. They had the NICU set up for her because they were supposed to rush her as soon as she was born to the NICU to get assessed and everything. The day finally came and she was born, and the nurses were in there and they didn't have to take her to the NICU. It just so happened that the baby next door had to be rushed to the NICU unexpectedly, and her little pod that was set up was ready for that baby, and they had all the needs right there and didn't have to waste any time. And then they were expecting her to be 5 pounds, and so really, really little, and she came out with 6 pounds, 13.8 ounces, 18.5 inches long. She's just been such a huge blessing ever since then. And then the day after she was born, she got tested genetically to see what she has. And a month later, it came back that she has a very rare disease called hypophosphatasia. There are severe forms of this where babies are born without a skull, without a rib cage, and that they can't breathe on their own. And so with Wrenlee being born and having her skull, her rib cage, everything, and just, her limbs being short and bowed and just a little flimsy, that is a miracle right then and there. Because things could have been so much worse. 10 years ago, for this disease, they had no treatments, nothing. But today they have these shots that can be given to her 3 times a week, and they replace the enzyme that she doesn't produce very well to help her bones grow and for her to become strong. And she has just grown tremendously. God has just blessed us, has blessed her, has taken care of her, and he's just totally shown what he can do. This is Wrenlee Grace. She is 6 months old now. Her little feet are fixed and they look normal as ever. She's just thriving, and she is such a bundle of joy, and she's got some great hair, And I just want to remind everybody that if you are dealing with fear, that fear is a liar. It speaks no truth. And that God is a miracle worker, and He is a way maker, and that He will provide for your needs in whatever is going on in your life. So just trust in Him and have faith.